Hello, Jenny Lyon here. Welcome, beautiful friends. Welcome. I'd like to invite some people, I think, for this live, because this live is really, really important. We have the Mental Awareness Week in the UK this week, and I think mental awareness is something that is increasing. Luckily, people are becoming more aware that this is needs addressing. Also, it's like a sickness of the new times. I think maybe there's always been anxiety and problems with mental health, of course. There hasn't always, it's not just now. But I think, I'm just inviting some people. Let me see. I think that today, in today's date, it's more common than it ever has been. And actually, mental awareness or mental issues are becoming more and more common in younger people as well. And yeah, come on in. I am talking about mental awareness. This is really, really important subject because we are going to give this world over to our children, right? So we need, as adults, take the lead and show that we can tackle this, that we can take care of our own mental wellness, so that we can also help our children. So many young people have problems today, and it's really common. A lot of my clients that are like adults my age, or those who have teenage children, even if they don't have problems with their teenage children have got friends that have issues and has terrible problems. There's a fly there. Terrible problems in school and the pressures, etc. So today I am going to talk about, first of all, why people experience it at a higher level today. And then I'm going to talk about the remedies. So what you can actually do to overcome it, because who would like to overcome it? I think most people would like to if they've had this issue. So if you know someone who would really benefit from listening to this message, please forward this message to them, because I'd like to help, obviously, as many people as possible. So let's just jump in and talk about the four categories, almost like how I'd like to compartmentalize it. So I look at as a professional, I look at the physical, the emotional, and the mental, and actually the chemical. That's kind of physical, and also the spiritual wellness of a person. And whatever disharmony they are experiencing, it will be in all of those fields or in just one or two of those. So when I talk about a physical, the physical, why would somebody have mental issues or suffer from anxiety, depression, other sort of mental related things because of the physical state of them? Well, first of all, nutrition. If you fuel your body with non-clean food and high vibrational food and high vibe water, processed food, numbers, sugars, gluten, caffeine, the rest, it may well be that it is affecting your chemical balance in the body so badly that it will start causing you feeling depressed, low mood, and then that kind of starts and go deeper, right? So it's really important to have a really good diet. And of course we can have sins sometimes, cakes and a glass of Prosecco or, whatever else. But the idea is to have a clean body, because the foods that we put inside of us, affects our hormones, which is affecting our mood. So the chemical imbalance can really affect your mental state. So that's really important physically. Obviously, exercise really helps if you feel if you're suffering from any sort of mental illness or mental disability. But any sort of exercise is really, really important. The emotional side of things. So what, in my experience, what I've discovered a lot is that people that have unresolved trauma, unresolved conditioning, unresolved issues that has caused them stress. So just post-traumatic stress, for example, can really cause anxiety later on. So it needs to be healed. So from an emotional side, that's why things are kind of bubbling up and coming to the surface, because the person doesn't really maybe always know where this is coming from, but actually it's a kind of stacking up, and it then causes anxiety, depression, mood swings, and that's kind of how it always starts. It always starts there, and then things can spiral if it doesn't get taken care of, right? So that's the emotional side of things. And again, when our emotions are out of balance, it starts affecting other parts of our being. It affects our body. It affects our mental state. We think we're not well. We think we start worrying more. So when the emotions are out of balance, it's really important again to address it. I mean, I'm going to talk about the remedies in the end of the video, but so the second thing is the emotional state. Now the third thing is your mental wellness, if that makes sense. So some people have a really overactive mind and kind of goes into loops and spirals about things, and they're overthinking it. Their ego is making up stories about how it's going to be and how dreadful things are going to turn out and how awful it's going to be before it's even happened. And that's just a story, right? So the mental activity can be helped with, but a lot of people have this mental overactivity and starts creating things and worrying, and then it's like spiraling, and then it's just kind of like becomes a massive issue, and then they get a panic attack. So that's another thing that can be addressed. So from a spiritual point of view, the mental body is out of alignment, one of your etheric bodies, one of your subtle bodies. But that's kind of another training video. But so mental. The fourth thing is your spiritual well-being. So when I talk about spiritual well-being, I mean being connected to something greater than yourself, right? Because if you have a religion, or you feel connected in some sort of way to spirit, if you feel that you are spiritual and you feel connected to all that is, to the universe, to everything, you feel more whole. But because there is a lack of connection to the greater or to the greater universe, or to the greater God, or whatever we want to call it, spirit, in many countries and in many cultures, etc., then we feel lost. So our spiritual wellness is kind of like so important, because when we feel lost and isolated, then we will also start spiraling out, and it can make us feel disconnected, disjointed, and all those things. So the four main things, I just summarize it. The four main things: your physical well-being will affect your mental health. So that means clean food, clean water. Nutrition is super, super important for mental wellness, or to not feel depressed and those things. Exercise, of course. So your physical well-being is really important. Take care of your body. Second one, emotional. Take care of your emotions, in the sense that if you have trauma, if you have conditioning, if you have post-traumatic stress, whatever are the things that will trigger your anxiety and trigger your depression, it needs to be healed. It needs to be cleared. It needs to come out of your cells, out of your energy being as a whole, and you will feel fine. Your spirit, and then your mental. So then the third thing is the mental I'll just mention it again here. The mental well-being. So a lot of people have an overactive mind. So it's finding ways to still the mind and to, come out of these loops that could send you in a terrible way. You just go and overthink a problem that hasn't even happened, and then you're off. And, it just ends up in a mess, and then it didn't even happen. And then you're worried for a whole day, and it was just ridiculous. So need to train the mind to rein it in. It's like a horse, so you have to like drain this horse in. The fourth thing was the spiritual. So the spiritual well-being of somebody is if we feel disconnected to God, if we feel disconnected to spirit, feel disconnected to something that is greater than ourselves, then we can feel isolated. All right. So those four things are something that I always look at with anyone that I'm working with who's had anxiety or had mental issues, depression, suicidal, etc., etc. It's not my main area of expertise, but in the past I had a lot of mental anxiety issues, mental patients basically coming to me. So it's nothing I didn't choose it at the time. But I have had a lot of these in the past. At the moment, it's not really what I focus on, but I have a lot of experience in this. So I wanted to share this with you. That's why. Okay, so the remedies. We like remedies because I always think and feel and know in my heart that everything can be healed, everything can be worked out, everything can be sorted. Everything. You can really make. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. Everything can be sorted out. So step one, this is remedy for mental illness. Maybe not severe mental illness, but I'm talking about the common, the anxiety, the depression, the moods that we see with people and the whole population, disease of the population, basically. Right. Go out in nature. We need to ground ourselves, because if we're not in with the trees, with the flowers, with nature, we feel disconnected to earth, and we just feel disconnected. As soon as you ground yourself and you actually even visualize that your feet has got roots and you ground into Mother Earth, you feel supported, nurtured, and held. And that is so powerful, so powerful. Ground yourself. These are, by the way, all free remedies and tips that I'm going to tell you. Meditation and mindfulness. Okay, so this will stop the racing horse that you have in your mind, right? So meditation and mindfulness, bring awareness to your thoughts. Make sure you clock what you're thinking and stop it. Go and meditate, go for a walk, put your attention to something else to stop the racing horse. Because if we don't, it will just gallop away and you'll have this massive sort of, freak out about something. All right. The clean food and clean water. Okay. Clean food, clean water. No processed food, no sugar, no gluten, no cow's dairy. Okay. I mean, some people have this every day and they feel fine, but I couldn't do it. So I do have some of it sometimes, but not all the time. So clean food, clean water, you will feel amazing. Try a raw juice diet or like a cleanse for a week. You will feel amazing. If you have brain fog, it will be gone. If you feel depressed, it will be gone. I can reassure you that clean food and clean water will help so much. Okay. Third thing, belonging. If you don't feel like you're belonging anywhere and you haven't got a great community, be isolated, that is really bad for mental health. You need your friends, you need your family, you need people that you can talk to, that you feel supported with. Even if you have just one friend that understands it or happy to hang out with you, then go and see this person, have this person in your life. You need this, okay? The next thing is to rest. So you need to rest, you need to sleep, you need to take care of yourself. Yeah. You need to feel that you need to love yourself. Okay. You need to love yourself for all that of you are. Yeah. So you love all parts of you. the crazy, nutty, anxious part of you. Love it. Love the gentle, loving, caring side of you. Love all of yourself. It's very important. If you don't know how to do it, you can ask me, PM me. I can teach you more, right? Go out. Don't stay indoors. You need vitamin D. Even in the winter, when there's no sun, it doesn't look like there's sun, pull your sleeves up like this. Get your skin bare. Get some vitamin D. All my lovely, amazing, beautiful friends in Australia, you haven't got this problem so much, but and other sunny parts of the world. But the UK, I mean, it's terrible. I take vitamin D all the time and throughout the year. So vitamin D, you need this. Okay. Step 2. So these steps you can start with straight away. And I know if somebody's really down, it is very hard to start. But then you get this one friend that you have just mentioned that gets you, and you ask this friend to help you. Okay? And you said, right, I listened to this video, Jenny. I need clean food. I need this. I need this. I need this. I need this. Can you help me? This is your start. Okay? So that's where you go. Now, when you have this under control, you're going to start to feel better. And you'll be like, wow, actually, my life is going quite well. I feel a lot better. Step 2, go and invest in your healing and your transformation. You need a healer, a therapist, a coach, a mentor, somebody, a doctor, anyone that you trust and that you feel can really help you. You go and see them. You invest in yourself. Okay? You pay the money, because what happens is when you invest in yourself and you give this money to whoever this trusted person is, you are loving yourself. Okay? This energy that you give is for you. You're giving yourself this, and that in itself will just raise your self-worth. And just by that, you'll feel amazing. All right? So spend your money, even if you have little, you go and spend it on yourself. All right? Cut back on something else. Step 2, invest in yourself. Right? Step 3, so when you started doing this, you're going to feel great. You're like, yes, I'm investing in myself. I feel great. I'm doing it. I'm so much better. You're doing amazing. Step 3, now you go and help others. Okay? So even if that's you start a little Facebook group, or you start some sort of little movement, or you do a little evening somewhere where you talk to some people, it can be private. It doesn't have to be public and big, but you help others. All right? And that is it. And as soon as you start helping other people, you will switch. You will come out of your depression. You will come out of your, but you would have had to do step 1 and 2 as well. Yeah. You come out of the depression. You'll feel a lot better. You feel a lot clearer. You feel like you have a purpose. You feel like you have an impact. You will start feeling amazing. All right. Okay, I hope that really helped on Mental Awareness Week UK. And again, as I said earlier, if you have someone that you know that would really benefit from this message, please let them know. Yeah, because then they will be like, yes, I've got a list. I've got a to-do list. I can get better. All right. See you soon. Have a wonderful weekend. And thank you for dropping in. And I see you very, very soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and weekend, whatever you're up to. Sending you lots of love from the Jenny Lion vortex. See you soon.